Thanks to the creation of the internet, the world is connected 24/7, and this connection will likely never sever. Instagram and many other social media platforms allow us to share any aspect of our lives to the public. Social media has also given people opportunities to grow careers from their passions, and that's exactly what Cole Bennett has done. It's interesting to look at Cole's journey to this point in his life, as it was all natural and came from a place of authenticity, where you often find people nowadays doing things that don't match their actual wants and needs to reach unnecessary levels of fame. By working with his local Chicago hip-hop scene, Cole Bennett has been able to build a cultural empire, otherwise known as Lyrical Lemonade.
What's up, guys? Cole. We're at the Lyrical Lemonade headquarters, the new one.
Cole Bennett was born on the 14th of May 1996 in a small town called Plano, Illinois, with his mother and sister. Cole's father tragically passed away at a young age, however this could be seen as a blessing in disguise, as Cole states that his mother was a very positive influence on him growing up.
Mom always she always pushed me growing up to be the best person I can be and just being myself, whether that's right or wrong to everyone else. So she always helped me have that work ethic and that mindset. And then
he also said in an interview with the Cuff Boys that his mum was the most supportive woman in the world. Not only did his mum try to instill positive morals into Cole, but also had an effect on his work ethic and creativity.
Absolutely. Like, my mom's work ethic, growing up, my dad passed away when I was 2 years old, and my mom worked 3 jobs. So just her work ethic, and like, even while she was working the 3 jobs, like, I remember one day she'd come home, she's like, I want to write a book. And then she'd like get all the materials to learn how to write a book. And then she opened up a bar, a business in Plano, and that did really well. She was just always trying new things that she had never done before. And I think that her drive and her work ethic and her passion about anything and everything she does,
it trickled down.
Yeah, trickled on down. So shouts out to my mom.
While Cole was influenced by his family, other creatives out in the world such as Steve Jobs influenced him. Bennett had read a quote from the Apple figurehead which he claimed changed his perception after he understood what it really meant.
So, I mean, Steve Jobs is important to me in particular and is a huge role model in my life because, like, everywhere you look, you see an Apple product, right? Like, it's hard not to see one. And, you know what I mean? I got an iPhone on me. I'm sure you guys got, you got one on me. We got MacBooks and so on and so forth. It's just like, there was a person behind that, obviously with everything, you know what I mean? But he changed the world. He changed the way we think. And one quote that Steve Jobs said, and I probably won't get it spot on, but it was an interview, and he said, life changes in tremendous ways when you realize that people who made everything around us are no different than you and I. It was something like that. I don't think it's spot on, but that should give you chills. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everything around us is made by human beings, you know what I'm saying, who are no different than you and I. So just the idea of that and like understanding what that really means, you know what I mean? It just kind of further breaks down like the whole idea of just anyone running for their dreams, like you guys, you know what I'm saying? Like myself, anyone who wants to do anything that's like out of the ordinary, it's more difficult because there's not like a clear path of what you should be doing to get there. And you just gotta do that shit if you want to, you know what I'm saying? If you want it, you just gotta go get it. And I feel like Steve Jobs really defined that. So shouts out to Steve.
Cole became very interested into video creation in high school when he took an all-time media class in his junior year.
My whole life, like, I always had fun. Like, me and my friends, like my buddy Jake and I, we'd like shoot little videos of like stupid stuff, like us running into walls or like us jumping
or something.
Yeah, us jumping into the snow, like with like our shirts off. It was just like, you know what I mean, just having fun being kids.
Yeah.
So I always liked just having a camera, and I took a multimedia class in high school where I would like, you'd get like assignments, and I'd make like skits and edit it up, like, and that's how I learned how to like edit and just the very base of everything. And then
At this time, he also became infatuated with hip-hop, and more specifically, the hip-hop scene in Chicago. put that into the mixing bowl that is Cole Bennett's mind, and you get the humble beginnings of Lyrical Lemonade. Cole started doing a media class in his junior year, as well as growing a passion for hip-hop, and when he fused the two together, he started making music videos in high school for $20.
Yeah, really just like stuff like that. I never had an actual job though. I started Lyrical Lemonade when I was at the end of my junior year of high school. So I was doing like $20 music videos, things like that, and that's kind of like how I started to get by. But up until then, I just wanted to learn, you know what I mean? You know, when you're at a early stage of something, and like if anyone wants to give you a chance, like it's like, why not go for it, you know what I mean? So someone even wanted to pay me $20 for a video. I was like, damn, like I must be doing something right. So that kind of fueled me, and then on top of that, it gave me a chance to learn, because it was just someone to work with, because, you know what I mean, I'm from a small town, so working with, you know, going to Chicago every other weekend and trying to work with those local artists, I mean, that was just an opportunity for me as it was.
He stated this was something he and his friends would do for the school. Quote, "My friends would make a song on GarageBand, I would make the video, edit it on my mum's computer on iMovie, and it would kind of be like a thing for the school," end quote. And as his passion for videos grew, so did his passion for hip-hop, especially within Chicago.
And there's this local scene in Chicago that was like, you didn't need to look anywhere else. If you were into it, you didn't need to. Literally, I didn't know about anything outside of Chicago, because I was only listening to Chicago music. So
is that the time period when Chicago was like really?
Yeah. So
is that like Lil Durk and
yeah,
Chief
it's
Keef
the same time like Durk's coming up, Keef's coming up. Same time we got people like Chance and Mick Jenkins and Vic Mensa. Like there were so many different sounds and like vibrations and just flavors really coming out of the city. So there's a little bit of everything. Like that's why I say you didn't need to look anywhere else, because you had all that stuff. And then there was like, you know, bands like Kids These Days that had a blend of, you know, alternative rock and hip hop. It was cool. There's so much going on. But
Cole grew up in a small cornfield town an hour and a half away from Chicago. Bennett said he was mesmerized by the city. As he was an outsider looking in, he knew that was something he wanted to be a part of. And with this, Cole started a blog on the local hip-hop scene within Chicago. And thanks to Cole's mother, is now more famously known as Lyrical Lemonade.
She's got your back. Yeah. How'd you guys come up with that Lyrical Lemonade? That's like the best. I mean, the logo, just the whole sound of it is crazy.
My mom actually came up with the name. Speaking of mom, my mom actually came up with the name Lyrical Lemonade. I was in high school and I had wrote down like an idea of what I wanted to do. I just wanted to make a blog, but I didn't know what I was going to call it yet. And I remember one night I had the web designer on the way to like get the URL going and get everything started, because it was a blog at first, a website. And I didn't have a name for it, so I was sitting in the kitchen with my mom bouncing ideas back and forth. And I remember she said Lyrical Lemonade. And I was like, I don't know about that, Mom. And I was like, wait, that's perfect. That's it.
How'd she come up with it? Did she say what inspired her to think of that?
I knew I wanted to be catchy, so we were playing around with like just different word plays on like fruits and vegetables and just like something that doesn't pertain to hip hop at all, and then tying in an aspect to it. So we kind of just fell on Lyrical Lemonade, and it just rolls off the tongue, you know what I mean? And
the next day, after Cole had designed his blog on a piece of paper, he had presented it to a classmate who looked at him and gave him the response, "You are stupid." Despite this comment, Cole continued with his stupid idea and printed out a bunch of stickers and handed them out to the school. For the next couple of months, Cole was working at his dream. He was coming home from school every day, writing about 10 pages on Chicago hip-hop, specifically artists who weren't getting the coverage they deserve. The website was up and running, and on the weekends, Cole would attend shows and attempt to immerse himself into the scene. Bennett stated that the blog was the main focus and the videos were just a side hobby, and Cole would continue this process throughout the rest of his time at high school.
Make a change, so that's really how it started, and then I kept doing videos. Videos really just like a side hobby though. You know, the main goal for me was the blog. I wanted to be like a journalist. I was originally gonna go to college for like journalism, you know? So that's what I wanted to do, and I had fun making videos, and I would just do videos for free for people who needed them, and then it started doing well, and then I, you know, further found my passion for film.
Cole had now graduated high school and attended DePaul University in Chicago to study digital cinema, but later switched to study communications.
Before I realized that just wasn't my path, and so I switched to communications, because I was like, the cinema thing was cool, but like just the whole structure of how your career is supposed to work just wasn't. I wasn't trying to be like a movie director at the time. I was like, I like making music videos, and they're talking about, oh, you have to wait 10 years to be a director, and you have to be a PA for like 4 years, and I was like, like I'm not doing any of this shit. Like I want to like do it my way, and this is not fun to me. So I switched to communications because I was like, if I'm gonna be in school, I'm just doing it to get this degree. I might as well just learn about people and how to communicate. I'll learn the tool set of whatever else myself. I feel like DUI is the best way to really learn something because you get to create your own, version of it.
Yeah.
Now Cole was in the heart of Chicago. It allowed him to put more time and energy into Lyrical Lemonade than he ever had before. He would shoot music videos with a green screen as well as interviews and anything he could think of from his dorm room.
Where I've always wanted to be. I don't need to drive an hour and a half anymore. I'm here. I would have artists come through my dorm room every day. We'd do interviews. I'd shoot music videos in my dorm room all the time. It was utilizing everything I could.
In his freshman year of college, Cole didn't really have a social life as he was glued to his computer. This was something his friends picked up on, and when confronted, he told them, "I'm on a mission, guys. It'll all make sense one day." And for the rest of his freshman year, Cole just kept working. In his sophomore year, Cole moved off campus into a house with 3 friends, but they usually had 8 or more people staying there a night.
Or to my sophomore year of college now, I'd moved to an off-campus apartment with 3 of my friends, but we had about 8 people staying there a night. Sleeping on the floor, on the couches. We were just doing what we could to make it work. We were all friends. We were all working and just surviving, really. And around this time, I had started.
Cole's growth during this period was steadily rising. He was gaining more traction and made more money than he ever had before. He knew he was at the point of wanting to throw a show that was bigger than any other show he had had before. He wanted to bring someone to Chicago who had never been before.
And I was like, okay, this is something working. I just had goals for the company, like within the city. I was like, I want to throw a show. So I threw a show. And then I remember my biggest goal being, I want to throw a show at Reggie's Rock Club. Reggie's Rock Club is like a, historical venue in Chicago. A lot of hip hop shows have been there. Chance's first show ever, 400 person venue. South Loop, cool, amazing venue. And I remember doing a show at Reggie's, and we sold it out. I was like, this is the craziest dream ever. I was like, I did it. I reached my goal. And I was like, now I want to throw a show at the Metro. And the Metro is another classic venue in Chicago. It's like a huge venue where artists come through town and do tour spots there and stuff. And
Cole threw a Lil Uzi show at the Metro in Chicago. Cole had booked the show 2 months in advance, and by the time of the show, Uzi was one of the biggest artists in America.
From like a kid in his dorm room with a green screen to booking Lil Uzi Vert and selling out a venue like that.
Well, I remember, so I was throwing shows probably every 4 months, and I lost money on one show ever, but I was using the money from the shows to save and book the venue and the artists for the next show. And I remember I was getting ready to do a show. I locked in the Metro, which was, that venue I'd always wanted to throw a show at. Yeah. And I was like, I want to do a show here, but I'd always booked Chicago artists. I'd never booked anyone from out of town. I was like, I want to bring someone into town. I want to, bring someone to Chicago that Chicago's never seen before. Yeah. And Uzi, no one knew who Uzi was yet. He was a super small artist. Yeah. And I was like, I want to book Uzi, So I remember I literally searched, I said, how to book Lil Uzi Vert, and I found a booking agent website, and on their roster they had Uzi, and I called the number. He said, let me call the manager, see if the date's open, if they're interested, yada yada yada. And they came back, and I used $8,000 to book, and you had to put a 25% down payment down, so it was $2,000, which I had saved up from music videos and just saving money. Yeah, I was doing music videos for $200, and so I sent in the deposit, announced the show 2 months in advance, and by the time of the show, he was the hottest upcoming artist at the moment. So we sold it out, and it was just insane. It was it made so many people believe. It was it was us taking things to a new level, but that was really just being prepared and just seeing something before it was what it was.
Yeah.
Around this time, Cole was working with Famous Dex and Warhol, and he claims that they were reinventing the DIY music scene. In an interview with Nardwuar, Cole stated he was inspired by the music video America by Mac Miller, and you can definitely see this inspiration in the music video for Hit 'Em With It by Famous Dex.
Watch I hit hit him with the next. I be running up a check. I got all these hoes upset. Hit him.
Macadelic. America.
In a room filled with holographic images. Path is limitless, death, well that's ridiculous. I'ma live forever cause the legend never died. See, the world is simple but complex in the design. I spent some time just thinking, where did that get me? High, more drinking. Now my head empty, so can it last a couple minutes more?
This is around a time where things are different in the music video world at this point. High budget music videos are becoming less of a thing, and the internet and YouTube is just thriving with all these young artists from all over the world. And we were just attacking it, and it was kind of, we were changing it, and before I knew it, we were at the forefront of this new emerging hip-hop subgenre that people like to call sound pop rap.
What you are currently watching is Cole Bennett's directorial from 2017, aka the SoundCloud era. At this time, Cole was working with artists such as Xavier Wolf, Lil Pump, Smoke Perp, Lil Skies, Lil Xan, and Ski Master Slump God. Cole himself best described it as while the mainstream had the radio plays and festival hits, the underground had cult followings, putting them on par, if not leagues ahead of the mainstream. At this time, Cole was at the forefront of the music video world and was getting interviewed by major publications such as Rolling Stone, Billboard magazine, and Forbes.
My name is Cole Bennett. I own a company called Lyrical Lemonade. It's still difficult to kind of explain it as a profession, you know what I mean? Because naturally people just don't take it seriously. But I would say I own a music promotion company, event coordination, film production. I throw shows, I do music videos, we do merchandise. I'd usually just summarize it like that. A lot of challenges come with throwing a show. Obviously, you have a headline artist who people are going to see, but if anything goes wrong, it's Lyrical Lemonade. You know what I mean? It's not whoever that headline artist is. So you kind of have to understand that whatever you're creating, no matter how many people are involved, it goes back to one person.
This era was a period of major growth for not only Lyrical Lemonade, but for Cole. He was now living his dream of running his hip-hop blog full-time. Only now, not only did he blog, but he shot music videos, threw shows and events, and sold merchandise. And what's even crazier is that when Cole started this journey, he didn't view it as anything bigger than Chicago.
There's a lot of like content creators, for like a lack of a better term there. Yeah. There's a lot of different motives there. Yeah. You know, like some people start with like, okay, I want to be this big Instagram model, or I want to own this company and I want to be super successful and have all these fans or whatever. And it's like, that's cool, but I think that, I don't know, I feel like it always ends up better when people are just doing it because they enjoy it. Like I started because I just enjoyed it. Like I said, I never thought it would be anything bigger in Chicago. Like that was the goal. So everything past that was like beyond a blessing. Yeah. But, you know, I wasn't thinking of it as like, I'm going to build up this company. I'm going to sell it in 5 years. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people think really, like everything's really calculated. A lot of that's what's going on right now. A lot of people are starting businesses in a very calculated manner, which is okay. You know what I mean? I get it, but that's just not how I did it. And I think if you do it that way, your audience is going to be less organic. You know, it just seems, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I get it.
You can't really pinpoint the ending of Lyrical Lemonade, as it is something that Cole was still working on today. Not only does Cole make music videos for various artists, but they have now thrown festivals, sold rugs, baseball bats, made their own Lyrical Lemonade, made Lyrical Lemonade carton plushies, and more recently featured a Lyrical Lemonade VHS tape with purchases in their most recent drop. And these are all testaments to Cole's creativity. Where can he take the brand next? Their style of music videos won't always be the trend, so how can they survive? The honest answer is authenticity. Cole has always operated Lyrical Lemonade off the idea of authenticity and staying true to yourself.
And it really, like you said, it's just kind of like creating my own reality and, you know, getting into things that I enjoy and doing it for that sole reason, because I enjoy it, you know, and nothing else. And then if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm just having fun.
Yeah. And do you still operate with that same mentality? Like on day one, when you're like, hey, I'm gonna try to shoot music videos, or I think it was, you started covering the Chicago hip hop scene, right? So when you're like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go for it and see what happens. Is that the same way you approach something new now? Like, hey, this could work. I don't know. Let me just give it a try.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you know, the business is much bigger than what it was then. You know, it was nothing then. But so, you know, you have to be smarter at moments and think a little more critically. Sometimes that just comes with life and anything, you know, growing and developing. But that has to be the same mindset with everything I do, because that's how I got to where I am. So, you know, that's how I'm gonna get to, you know, the next levels of life. And you just gotta, you know, add adjustments and, you know, apply different things you learned throughout the years and build that into it. But yeah, just doing whatever you feel is right, regardless of whether other people think that is right or not.
And that is also another thing that needs to be said about Cole Bennett, is he is an inspiration. In this new age of technology, thousands, if not tens of thousands of new jobs have been created, and they can really be anything you make it. Look at Jake Paul. He went from creating vines in his hometown in Ohio to getting paid $2 million in his recent fight against Tyron Woodley. And same goes for Cole Bennett. He went from being a major fan an hour and a half outside of Chicago to making a direct impact on the hip-hop scene in Chicago, as well as the overall community, as he has recently been doing charity work within the Windy City.
I just want to say thank you for everyone who came out. It's a beautiful turnout. You should all be proud of yourselves for coming out and helping the community and cleaning up the park. We're finally kind of starting to get back to normalcy in the world, slowly but surely. And, you know, one step at a time, we're making it happen. And I'm just thankful that everyone's here and we're about to do something special. Today, I think, you know, an important thing is to look around you and meet someone new and build a friendship or relationship, ask someone about their day and, you know, what they're up to. You never know what this could lead into. So enjoy yourselves and, you know, be proud of yourself. Let's have a good day.
What's your goal with that? Do you have a goal with it that's like different from, you know, like what makes it different? Like what do you do with the artists you choose, or like, is there anything like that that's important to you?
Well, we have a lot of good relationships with artists, and I like to think of a lot of artists that we work with closely, like as Chicago being like their second hometown. That's the way that the city feels with us representing Chicago so heavily. Like when we work with an artist or co-sign artists, or, you know, I like the city to identify with this person as well. So we always do their first show and we always bring them back and everything. So a lot of friendships.
I am honestly excited for where the Lyrical Lemonade brand goes next. I really couldn't predict what they will do, however I know it is something that will work, as they won't be doing it to make a load of sales or generate a big trend, but because it's what feels right to Cole and the team. Last of all, big shout out to Cole for inspiring millions of kids like me who have passions and want to make them a full-time reality.
I think the biggest part, or like the best piece of advice I would give, is to be yourself. And I mean that in the purest way. It's like the internet's a scary thing because it's showing us what's cool or what we think is cool, whatever it may be, and that like everyone's wearing the same shit, everyone's trying to do the same things, and it's just like that isn't going to, it might work, but it's probably not going to get you anywhere. You have to be original and stay true to yourself. And if it does work and you're doing all these things because you're going based off what you think is cool, and it does work, then you're going to be miserable in 5 years, because you're going to be successful off of something that isn't it. You're going to be someone who's not even you. You know what I mean? So the best way I'd put it is just be yourself, and whether that works out or not, you're going to be happy. And I think that happiness is the most important, you know, the important thing. So that's what I'd say.
That is a wrap. Thank you guys so much for watching. I went back and forth on this video so much, deleting and rewriting scripts, but I realised these videos aren't about perfectly capturing someone's life. It's about sharing the details of their life that can inspire you, as Cole has most certainly inspired me. I also don't think I've said the words Lyrical Lemonade, Chicago, hip hop and Cole Bennett as much as I have today, and I don't think I'll be saying them anytime soon after this video goes out. All my social links will be in the description, as well as all the interviews I use in this video if you're interested in watching them in their full entirety, which I think is worth it because Cole drops a lot of knowledge which I haven't included in this video. Anyways, have a great rest of your day, and remember,
Cole Bennett is a GOAT. Like, Cole Bennett pretty much is like holding the culture up, like real talk. So